is not a new concept. History has shown us the experiences of the historic voices and martyrs. Have you been struggling with pain in the past? Do you need help dealing with things that are holding you back from achieving all that you want in life? Tune in to My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by Pastor Arthur Williams. This show is designed to help the next generation accomplish the goals they've set out to attain through practical conversations. Join in and find how to turn prior pain into glorious gain.
Good morning, family. Good morning for another episode. Thank you for tuning in to My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by your boy, Pastor Art. Good to see everybody again this week. Listen, I have another amazing guest with me this week, man. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Listen, I got to break it down. I got to break it all the way down and give her entire bio. Legacy engineer. That's what she calls herself, a legacy engineer. The author of The Blueprint, 5 steps to go from paycheck to paycheck to financially lit. This is my sister, my pastor's daughter, wife to Cody Hall, mother to Bella, Nyla, Seth, and Jay. Give it up for my girl, Kiera Hall. What's up, Miss Kiera?
Hey, thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it.
I did a little research. Nah, we've been knowing each other for a minute. Got connected. Me and you got connected through your dad. Me coming to St. Paul, St. Augustine, and working with you. Working with him, and I met you through your dad. And so it has been a wonderful ride, and I'm glad to be back with the family in Gainesville.
Awesome. Yes. Glad to have you back.
Yeah. So I just got a few questions this morning. Listen, y'all, she has now become my mentor and helping me with some things personally. And I thank God for her being there, being that mentor for me in this season of my life. And so I just want to give you your props, girl. You doing your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So born and raised where? In Gainesville?
Yep. Born and raised in Gainesville, Florida, in the neighborhood Duval. Not Duval, Jacksonville, but Duval in Gainesville.
And so how was it? How was it growing up in this is the only time I'm gonna say this. How was it growing up in Gatorland?
Oh, Gatorland. Man, it was awesome. It was awesome growing up. I loved, like the homecoming parades, just being able to, see the football team go like down the road and people got the boiled peanuts and the ice cups and just seeing like it's like a reunion every year for the homecoming parade. You see everybody you ever known your whole life. So it's been fun. And then my cousin, he played for the Gators, got 2 championship rings when Tebow was there. So I never really watched any Gator sports until my cousin played. And then after he finished, I ain't really watched no more. So I'm like a Gator because I was born a Gator, but I don't actually watch any sports. But go Gators. I love the Gators.
Oh God. That's the only thing. Oh, I don't know what I don't know how me and your dad have a great relationship, but we have a great relationship. But when it comes to Florida State and Florida, Lord,
We enemies, yeah.
yeah, we enemies. We enemies just that one day.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up, right, you went through a little season in your life where, you know, your mom and dad split up, got a divorce. How did that affect you guys? Or how did that affect you? Not you guys, but how did that affect
Yeah.
you during that season?
So here's the interesting thing about it. I actually don't ever remember them together
Wow.
because they split up like when I was really young. Like I can't. The furthest I can remember back is like kindergarten. So I can't remember 4 years old, 3 years old. I don't ever really remember them together. But I think the way it affected me is because I love my mom, but then I also love my stepmom.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess I just didn't quite know until I got older that you can basically love two moms. And I just felt this tear of like, they're not together. I don't really think they like each other that much. And then here's what it is. My mom, my dad was strict, and my mom pretty much let me have my way. And so the biggest struggle was like, as a child, I did this, the battle between the parents. Well, let me ask which parent gonna say yes, and I'm going with that parent. And so my dad, like, you can't have a boyfriend, and my mom's like, oh, I guess I'm cool with it. So my biggest struggle was kind of like disobedience, the tear between my dad being frustrated because he kind of had these rules, my mom not really knowing exactly what my dad's rules were because it's two different houses, and just growing up, young girl, teenager, wanting to live at my dad's house and have the car that my dad got me, but wanting to follow all the things my mama said is cool, and them not being on the same page and me taking advantage of that. So I caused a lot of my own strife and struggle. And then my stepmom kind of being in that place where it's like, oh, I'm the step parent, and me kind of battling because my dad, he always did this. Go ask Michon.
Go ask Michon.
So then she said, go ask your dad. But they were always on like the same page, one accord. And so it was a struggle because I couldn't never play them.
Yeah.
Because they was always on one accord.
They had y'all figured out. They had you figured out.
Yeah, but my struggle, it wasn't that, their divorce, that didn't really hurt me. I don't even know what it's like them being together. But I guess just two households was a struggle. Two households.
Because I have that with my kids, and that it's kind of touch and go. You trying to, you got one rules at one house, and then when you leave that house, then you go to the other house, and then there's another set of rules. It's kind of aggravating and frustrating for you, for the child too. So I understand that. So, after all that, y'all with Michon or whatever. So you graduate from Gainesville, right? Like high school. Okay.
Well, Buchholz High School, went to GHS, got into some trouble. And so when my dad moved, he went ahead and made me switch schools to boy trouble, connected with the wrong boys. And so I think my biggest struggle was really bad relationships and connecting with people. I remember my first boyfriend, found out he had a girlfriend at every high school.
Oh.
Yeah. Horrible, super player, really manipulative. And so my struggle was not necessarily as much as in the home, but I really started to spiral downwards because of the relationships I was choosing, which I wasn't even allowed to have a boyfriend. So it was so my parents couldn't even really help me because they didn't even know, because I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I had some trifling boyfriends. I had in 10th grade, I had a boyfriend. You can still possibly see it one side of my lip razor. He bust my mouth. And I did not tell my brother or my dads because I figured I don't want my brother or dad to go to jail.
No, they don't be in prison.
And then, and I don't know if you know this, but when I was 16, I overdosed and tried to take my life. And it was a spiraling of like relationship trauma and like all this stress and like being a teen girl and like just struggling with that type of stuff. So that was really what caused a lot of pain for me.
That's what,
not knowing my worth.
That's what I was about to jump and see. You like a prophetess. You gotta stop reading my mind, girl. But I was like going to I know you had suicidal thoughts, and that began from the rejection from the that was from the rejection that you was receiving.
Yeah, so I think in high school, my 9th grade year, I don't really share this, and it's one of those things where I'll be transparent about it on the show. Like I might share in a one-on-one conversation, but my first time having sex, I was raped. Like I didn't want to, and it was by my boyfriend. Wow. So I was afraid to tell my parents because first of all, I wasn't supposed to be with no boy anyway. I wasn't supposed to have a boyfriend. So, and it was interesting because it was like nothing ever happened. You know, eventually I broke up with him, but yeah. So everything spiraled down from there, because when somebody takes advantage of you in that way, you know, and you don't want to, I felt worthless. I felt like, well, what's the point now? Because honestly, I was raised in the church and I had goals to not have sex until I got married, and to have like this life where I get married and like this dream life. And then I felt like that was ruined ninth grade, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I spiraled downhill from there, because it was like, man, like, yeah.
Wow. So then you just went down the down spiral. So going through that, your mental state, your mental health at that point was probably like very low, right?
Extremely low, because I left the guy who raped me, took advantage of me because I said no, he did anyway. Then went to the guy who bust my lip, found out he was cheating on me too. And my friends knew. I'm like, how y'all ain't tell me he was cheating? Like, we friends. I know we all friends, but how y'all ain't found out? Broke up with him. And then that next year is when my parents moved, and then I went to a whole new school. So it's like I got a fresh new start. And my grandma ended up buying me like the Purpose Driven Life book, a Bible. So I really started trying to and I got a fresh new start, but I was still surrounded by a bunch of ungodly influences. Bad company corrupts good character. So it was like, I want to do right. I know what I'm taught, but I still kept, you know, falling into the bad relationships and kind of spiraling downward. And with my new school, look, I got exposed to a whole new life. It went from bad boys to like bad friends. My new school, they partied and drank all the time. So when I went to my new school, I started drinking, getting drunk every weekend, sneaking out. Parents, no idea. So that downward spiraled more. And I don't know, do you want me to go into what caused the come up for me?
Well, yeah, because I was getting ready to slide right into it. So basically, so you go from that point, and you go from that space. So how do you, at that moment, you had the suicidal thoughts, but from that moment of your life and that dispensation in your life, how did you transition? What was those steps to get you to get from your pain to your gain?
It took 2 years for the transition. So I had suicidal thoughts. I overdosed. I tried to commit suicide, but I lived. And I didn't try again after that to overdose, but I did used to cut myself. I know that sounds crazy. I know some of y'all might be thinking like, what, black people do that? Yeah, some black people did that. I used to do that. So that was kind of one of the ways I dealt with the pain. It was like, well, to deal with the pain that's going on in here, I'm just take it out here. So I used to do that. But the transition moment was my senior year. The guy who I was dating my senior year in high school was cheating on me with 3 of my close friends. I'm talking about girls who spend that in my house.
Oh,
my teammates. And that was my transition moment, because when that happened, I came to the conclusion, you can't trust nobody but Jesus.
Yeah.
And I went from that experience to diving into my Bible. I started reading my Bible more. I started like reading Purpose Driven Life. Like, I got the book, then I finally started reading it. And this was like my senior year of high school. So normally people, they go to college and they go, wow. Well, when I started college, I had just ended off my senior year with a boyfriend and friends who all did me wrong. And so I started college diving headfirst into the Bible. I started a Bible study on campus, out in the field. I would have 20 people on a Friday night showing up at my daddy's house from my college for Bible study. I started just engulfing myself in God, and I started finding my healing in God because I got done so wrong. And I started to realize, like, it ain't nothing good out here in these streets. Like, I thought I wanted to be out here with these people, but they trifling. I know it's better out there because I have a beautiful example of better, like my dad and my stepmom, their relationship. So I know that it's good people out there in the world. And so that was my shift. And it wasn't like an immediate thing. It's a journey. It's a journey. So I still struggle. It's not like the suicidal thoughts went away. I still struggle with it. I experienced church hurt. I started going to a different church when I was in Gainesville because my dad was in St. Augustine. So I tried to find me a church in Gainesville because the traveling was just a lot. I wanted to be somewhere more local to be more involved. And I experienced the church hurt and started spiraling back down again. Because of just rejection I felt from church, desiring and wanting to be in the leadership and coming into a church. The pastor of the church had me shut down my Bible study. It was like, you can't do a Bible study without my permission. I had 20 plus people showing up on Friday night. I was walking in my gifts, feeling excited. But because I was, really obedient and like, okay, yeah, I'll shut it down. I'll listen. And I was under the promise of like, hey, we want you to come into this mentorship. And then in a year, you'll start the Bible study. A year went by, 2 years went by, 3 years went by, 4 years went by, 5 years went by. I never was given permission to restart a Bible study. And I was literally sitting on my gift of like teaching and felt so down. And so that spiraled me down again. And I got Baker acted. I tried to commit suicide again, but this time I got Baker acted when I was 22, I think. Yeah, and then I had a whole nother breakthrough story where my whole family came and they were shocked. They didn't even realize, like, what, you're experiencing that? Because I seemed like the happiest person on the outside. And my breakthrough was a nurse. She came in the room and said, you don't look like you're supposed to be in here. And I really, when I was Baker acted, I felt like I was the most normal person there. I was like, it was people around there swatting flies that didn't exist. Walk around talking to themselves. They was trying to give me medicine. And I was like, hold up now. I was just really sad. I tried to take my life. I felt depressed. But I looked around. I'm like, nah, these people, hope I ain't offending nobody. But I was like, I was just really depressed. I don't think I'm supposed to be in here with, they around here swatting flies that don't exist and talking to themselves. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But the nurse, she came in my room and she asked me, why? Like, what happened? Why are you here? You don't like you're supposed to be here. And it really all boiled down to I was trying to live my life to please my parents instead of living my life for me. Yeah. And so I was stressed out. I was at the University of Florida, overwhelmed there, but not for me. I was there because my parents told me, I don't care what you do, you better get your degree. And so I was getting a degree because my parents said I had to get a degree. Yeah. And so I was crumbling under the pressure of living my life for someone else. And although my dad loved God and I can't live my life for my dad, I gotta live my life for me and what God called me to do. And so that was my second breakthrough, and really just learning to live life for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who got to live with the results. I'm the one who was Baker acting, not my whole family, me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the one who got the college debt, not my whole family, me. I'm the one who got to live with whatever choices I make in my life. And so that was my second breakthrough, to where I had to realize, like, I got to live with this. So I just went on a personal development journey, and I'm still growing, constantly renew my mind daily, still growing. Exactly. And my kids really saved me, because after I had my first child, I thought I could never take my life. I don't care how bad I feel. I can't. I got a kid now. Look. Yeah. And I realized I had to fight, because I had Bella, and I said, okay, I gotta fight. I can't allow this to get me, because if I do, it'll get my daughter. And sometimes other people you'll have more strength to fight for somebody else than you will to fight for yourself. And so it's really the strength. And now I'm coming to a season where I'm loving me, and I'm having the strength to fight for me because of me. It's moving beyond my kids. And I'm really realizing that my strength is on Christ, and not putting my strength and my hope on my husband, not on my kids, not anybody, but really Christ, the rock, is who. And that's that won't fail you, because eventually kids will move out, they'll grow up. And so I'm glad I'm grounding myself while my kids are still little, and not putting so much pressure on them for my happiness.
Gotcha. Yeah. So how did you get into this life of? I know you and Cody went to y'all went and met up with was that Les Brown, right?
Yes, life changing. And it was Reverend Battles who told
Yep.
us about the Les Brown event.
Yeah, I remember
Thank
that. I
God for
remember you guys
her.
going and
She
that
changed my
that changed your
life.
life. And so you got involved now with financial awareness, and you're helping. Like you have a class at the church that you do. So just give us a brief synopsis of what you do for the company that we are part of.
Yeah. So backtrack. Reverend Battles invited me to the Les Brown event. So I
Hmm.
tell Cody, I didn't really know who Les Brown was. I know shame on me. But Cody did. And Cody was like, oh yeah, we going. So we go to Orlando. We get to meet Les Brown. Like we ended up joining the Les Brown Maximum Achievement team, getting mentored by him, getting his personal phone number, like favor, like just connecting
Yeah.
with him. And then we met a lady at that event who's in the company that we're in now. She
Hmm.
introduced, started talking to me about saving money, getting out of debt, investing. I knew nothing about it. And so that was my intro. Meet somebody at an event. And fast forward now, license and insurance, investments, mortgages, spreading awareness, teaching people how money works. Because in school, we don't learn about money, right? I
Hmm.
never learned about credit, the way debt works, investing, retirement. I never learned building wealth, passive income, owning a business. I ain't never learned about none of that stuff. And so through this company, we have a system whereby we help teach people to become financially free, to build their own business. And the beautiful thing is we help teach people how to build a business in which they help people get out of debt, save money, become homeowners, save for their kids' college if they want to, leave an estate, leave a legacy for their kids, just really understand how money works. And so, literally, all from her telling me about a Les Brown event, Sarita, I go to Les Brown event, meet somebody who literally changed my whole life. And now we have a team of 14 licensed agents and growing. We are going to be to where we literally have thousands of licensed agents in our organization. We're working on promoting, three branch owners this year, to where not only somebody's just serving families, but even better, they have their own organization where they have passive income. But man, I tell you, I love what we do for families on the financials, the client side, and on the business side, help being able to take someone and let them know that, hey, it don't matter what your educational background is. It doesn't matter where your skills are. If you willing to learn, if you willing to work, you have an opportunity whereby which you can make hundreds of thousands, millions a year. Your income can be unlimited, and you can create time and freedom. Time and freedom. And so
Hmm.
we fighting and building a dream. And anything worth having is worth fighting for. So
Worth
I
fighting
ain't
for.
saying what we do is easy, but what I am saying is worth it. It ain't no get rich quick, but
Yeah.
it's a bomb opportunity where for less than a pair of Jordans, you can get some financial licenses and get the tools you need to build your own financial organization from the ground up and make unlimited income.
Exactly. So yeah, so you made a full like 180, not a 360. We won't say 360. 360 put you back where you started. We're gonna do a
Yeah.
180 and forget those things which are behind us and press. Look in the rearview mirror every now and then. But so you do that transition, and then you meet this dude. Yeah, I'm gonna get on it. We got 4 minutes left. But you meet this guy by the name of Cody Hall.
Oh, look, Cody was a part of the whole transition.
Got
Cody
you.
came. This how I knew Cody was real. Cody showed up at the hospital I was Baker acted at. He showed up every single day. And that's
Wow.
how my whole family, because my dad was like, everybody was like, who's this Cody dude? After that week of me being Baker acted and Cody showing up every day, they thought, oh, he really loves her. Because here she is, Baker acted in the hospital, and he's showing up every
Yeah, he
day,
showed up.
showing up to support her and be there for her.
Wow.
So he's been a part of the whole journey, been with me through everything,
Wow.
just supported me through everything, just involved on all fronts, involved in encouragement in the business. Cody involved in, I Father of the Year award. Like, y'all see Cody, not your typical father. He, laundry, wash dishes, take care of the kids, do everything. I think it's just normal that dads do. Now they're like, oh, a dad. That's what they do. They take care of their kids, watch it, clean up, do. So he's 100% involved in his kids' lives, and and just to wrap it up, I don't think I would be who I am without Cody, because it was Cody who pushed me to start making decisions for myself. It was him who pushed me to stand up and to, like, why you so afraid? Why you so he really has been a pusher, a really like a catalyst, a change agent for me becoming who I am today.
Wow. So
we've been married almost 10 years.
Yeah. So he pushed you out. Yeah, as long as I've been knowing you.
Yeah.
I met you guys right after y'all got married. So he's been that driving force for you.
He has.
So it shows like he saw something and he saw the potential in you. And so he pushed you. And he just continued to water that seed. And so now you blossoming right now and doing what you got to do, man, to be who you are. And I'm grateful to know you and have a relationship with you because your story is amazing. And so I threw that plug in there about your book, The Blueprint. Tell us where we can get that.
Amazon is the easiest place. I do have copies on hand as well. But Amazon is like the simplest, easiest place. Well, actually anywhere. Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold, it's available. Okay. Kindle, Audible,
gotcha.
Ebook, like anywhere. It's audio, digital, and like physical, like paper. So it available anywhere, everywhere. The Blueprint, 5 Steps to Go from Paycheck to Paycheck to Financially Lit. It's literally available everywhere. Cool. Even in other countries.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey y'all, this is the legacy engineer, Miss Kiera D. Hall. Listen, if you don't, y'all go cop that book. If you're trying to get to where you need to be, go cop that book. This is an amazing young woman. Y'all see her, she's amazing. Thank you, Kiera, for coming on the show this week.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
And thank you for being transparent and open to our audience. Listen, I thank you again, my Paying Your Game family, for tuning in this week. I hope you all were blessed by this amazing show. Listen, tune in every week, 10 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m. Meet me here, okay? 10 o'clock a.m. every Saturday. My Paying Your Game, where the real keeps it real. May God bless you. May God keep you as our prayer. I'll holler.
Business or product? Are you looking to advertise? Maybe to get the word out to thousands of people on a daily? You should consider the Inspired Network. We have affordable packages that can assist you at getting the word out about your product or business. Call us today at 866-804-6774.
Your financial support keeps the ministry alive. You can be a blessing by sewing via Cash App today at $TeachJax, or you can text to give at 833-481-1524 and text the word.
So you've been watching the show. Would you like to be a content provider yourself and develop a show for the Inspire Network? Please give us a call today at 904 389-5592 or go to www.connecttv.info to submit a show idea.
Have a praise report or a testimony of how any of the programming at the Inspired Network has been a blessing to you? Please go to www.myprayerrequest.info. Click on the tab Testimony and submit it today. The IPC prayer team would love to know how effective the ministry is being to you.
Do you love video production? Would you like to have a career in video production, but don't know where to start? Your problem is you have no one to teach you. Well, the Inspired Television Network is initiating its apprenticeship program. We'll teach you video production, how to set up the simple camera operation, post-production, and advanced editing. Imagine sitting down with an expert and being taught weekly how to do it. It's a 6-month program that requires a minimum of 10 hours a week of hands-on training and 3 hours a week of classroom training. You've always wanted to make movies or learn production. This is the perfect program for you. Give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or sign up at www.learntv.today. It's free for churches and nonprofits.
Do you need a morning prayer line? A place you can call to hear from God? Call the International Prayer Council Intercessory Prayer Line, Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 904-299-7241.